All right, let's get a new 30-minute game going. Got the white pieces today against a fairly strong opponent. 1e4, expecting to see e5, but there's a number of setups against this. Ooh, what is this? g5. I've never seen such an idea. Let's take a command to control the center. Maybe they keep pushing. This feels like a trap. I do not like this. Obviously, queen takes looks appealing, but I think runs into they get to develop like this, and I don't care for that. I'm not going to take that piece. Can't get our knight out, so maybe get our knight out to c3, just developing somewhat naturally, even given the situation. If our opponent is going to develop in a strange way, by all means, develop in a strange way. I'm a little bit hesitant to castle kingside at this point. I know it's very early to begin having such discussions. But just given the weirdness of the situation, I don't know if I want to castle kingside. Takes a push. So this pawn, I guess this pawn is not hanging. Maybe we get out like this. Ugh. Bishop out, and then knight out to e2, followed by knight to g3, sort of stunting the development of this g pawn. We could also play bishop out. I'm going to get our bishop out next, basically. Bishop out to c4, b5. Both look appealing. Although also pushing. No, I don't want to get too fancy. Let's bishop out to b5. The chess.com move order thing calls this the Mad Latin G Sling, which I have certainly never heard about before. It does feel a little mad lad to be moving forward in such a manner. I guess sort of interesting would have been bishop out to c4. It makes a move. Queen takes. Pawn comes out. Okay. So they finally play their e-pawn. We get into sort of a Roy Lopez. If we push here, they can advance their knight, no problem. If we take, they can take back because this pawn is not pinned. Maybe now we can get our knight out to add a defender to d4. Yeah, that seems decent. Strange opening. But now I think we can probably... Can we take here? Takes. They take, okay. So now I think we take back, and if they want to... Right? Seems correct. And this is, I think this is good for us, because we can just take their rook, unless they want to develop their knight. Their d7 pawn is pinned. We have potentially this queen to e5 check, but I think I would like to get castled first. Okay. So an option here, we can pick up their rook for free. This feels like a trap. This feels awful. But I want to look and see what options our opponent has available to them. So if we take the rook, their knight can come out, sort of blocking our queen in. I think we would need to do queen takes on h7. Our king is not in danger necessarily. They do have queen out like this, which looks a little bit dangerous. We obviously can't take here because their bishop is guarding that square. So I think takes looks pretty good, and I don't know if they come out like this, then we can't take that piece because the knight guards it. So trade a rook for trapping our queen. I guess in my mind, I think this is worth taking because we trade our queen for a rook. They trap our queen for a little bit, but then their knight and their bishop are both locked in place because their bishop is pinned, their knight is defending our queen's only exit. So we're sort of trading our queen for 3 pieces. So I think this is a good move. And then we can get our dark squared bishop out. I mean, if they want to move their knight out, we can get our dark squared bishop out to g5. Yeah, okay, this is coming together. Okay, yeah. There we go. We can get castled however we want. And I think we have a substantial advantage here. Super interesting opening. And I wonder if we take here next. We should probably get castled first. Well, if we get castled, then they push g3. Maybe we get castled queenside. Oh, this is interesting too. Knight out to d5, adding another attacker to their knight. It's probably not necessary, actually. And I guess that also invites queen to a5 check, which we don't want. So I think castle queenside first. That's probably our next move. Yeah, and this is looking exceptionally bad for our opponent. If they want to take here, I think we just take their queen. King goes back, queen takes, and then they're in a really, really bad position. Yeah, this feels all right. I'm glad we took our time figuring out what to do. I'm glad I trusted my instinct. Our opponent resigns. Okay. Quick game today. Let's see what the game review looks like. Switch to the analysis board. Mute the tab. King's pawn opening. G5 is a mistake right out of the gate. D4 is best, taking up the full center. And then G4 is good, that's playable. So immediately we have a +2 advantage according to the engine. And I wonder if queen takes here was a mistake. Does this allow them to harass our queen? It's good, but we lose a little bit of advantage. They play out their pawn. And then, I don't know if I would have spotted this necessarily. Queen to f4. Interesting. Okay. C6 is excellent. B5. Not okay, so in inaccuracy, I guess trying to kick this pawn would have been a little bit better. E5 is weird, knight g to e2 is good. They take, we take. They take, yeah, and then we leave their rook hanging. I spent a long time looking at this, and I'm glad we did. This ended up to be correct. Moving the knight to safety was a decent move, but then we're able to pin their knight, their queen, and then our opponent resigns. Okay, quick game. I don't know what the idea behind this is. I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking into it. I was not super impressed. So I think just taking the full center and, sort of being thoughtful about this is a really weird thing for our opponent to be doing. So not taking that pawn that looks like it's free. I just don't trust. I'm sure there's some theoretical line where we can keep all of our pieces, but I don't trust things like this. So I'm glad we handled it in that way. Cool. So I'm going to call it here. Quick game. I think probably the fastest game we have on the record. I'm just under 11 minutes on the clock. So I think this will be the shortest video of the run so far. So I'm going to call it here. Thanks all. Have a good one.